one of the other key points which we touched on again in the previous lesson, lesson 13, was that the color of the medium term line, the 25-day line in this case, is important from the perspective of determining whether we are in an uptrend or in a downtrend, and to watch out for the changing color. We also used the assistant reference line here, which is simply from this white line the closing price from 25 days ago plotted. And we said that the window into the future has 7 days worth of future Masuda Ashi real body predictions, which is not perfect by any means, but it's a lot better than nothing, especially when you consider that based on empirical testing, the accuracy of tomorrow's Masuda Ashi real body being the color as predicted by the system is about 80%. That's certainly not something to sneeze at. But we'll go out here to 9 days out. This Japanese says 9 days out. You can see the number 9 there. Now, based on this white line, this point here is the closing prices of 25 days ago. You can basically draw a straight line across to there, and there might be some cases, as we touched on in the previous lesson, where we want to actually predict further out. And although our assistant's reference line only gives us out to here, we can easily consider where the assistant's reference line would go from here by looking at the historical candlestick chart. Basically, all of these are green upward candles, so the closing prices are at the top of the real bodies on the candlesticks. So this would go up, and then we've got a red, which would be a bit of a down, and then up again, down, up. So there's a bit of this kind of action going on, going up, and then down, and then up, and then down, and then up again, and then down. So if the share price could sustain the momentum to stay above here, then our medium term line should also remain pink. But is that likely under the circumstances? We're already at this level here, very close to the 25-day line. Let's see. So we're expecting that if the share price was able to stay above here, then the medium term line would likely remain pink for this phase. However, if the share price was to go, say, like this, well, from around this point, it's likely that the medium term line would turn blue, assuming that the share price was weaker. Let's see what actually happened. Ooh. We have a considerable rebound in the share prices. So as it turns out, this was a good buying on the dip opportunity, but we couldn't tell back here that this is actually how it would go. So let's actually go back here, put our oops, I'm still in line drawing mode to get out of that. Let's go back here and reset the chart. Okay, we're still predicting a blue short-term line as the next day, but in fact it was pink. Now let's see how the window into the future looks. Okay, so we're looking up. This is why it's very difficult when the real bodies are so short and the color fluctuates so much. It's hard to predict where, even for the short-term Masuda Ashi real body, where whether it will be pink or blue. Oh, but we have a strong rise here. That will change the picture again. Yes, it does. Based on this strong momentum, as can be seen with the gap here in the candlestick, a big jump up, the forecast Masuda Ashi real body values in the window into the future have changed again. So that's why at any point in time it's important not to take the window into the future as an absolute prediction, because it's only an indication of, based on the existing trend and based on the Masuda Ashi chart calculation principles, where the trend is likely to go in terms of the color of the real bodies. But as each day passes, that creates new data from a historical perspective, which alters the trend calculations, and will also generate a new set of Masuda Ashi window into the future real body forecasts. Therefore, it's most important to focus on just tomorrow's Masuda Ashi real body color. Actually, back here, let's have a look and see if our 3-day Masuda Ashi shadow would have provided any indication. We've actually got it turning down there, so by all accounts we would have probably expected it to be blue the next day, but in fact it was pink. So now we have a clear bullish reversal, here where the closing price here, as indicated by the end of the shadow or the arrows point, the head, is well above the high of the previous Masuda Ashi real body, which was blue. So that's a good indication if we had kept monitoring this stock, although we wouldn't have bought in around this time. Now we're seeing evidence of an upturn, so we can focus more. Another thing to keep in mind is that we've got a couple of consecutive long Masuda Ashi real bodies, and this is actually a harami. So this, although we've just started going up, it could be an indication of a near-term top, but in fact it keeps going stronger. And also our medium-term line is still pink, so we can have some confidence that we're in an upward trend, so there would be no need to panic at this point. Oops, now we have a bearish reversal. What does this indicate? Okay, followed by a harami, indication of a possible near-term top and correction or sideways trading, which we did have a little bit of here, but we were still in an uptrend, so this could be a good opportunity to buy on a dip, although we are approaching the high end of the range. Let's see what happens. Oh, we're going higher still. Okay, so this would have been a good buying on the dip opportunity because we're still in an uptrend with the medium-term line here. Now we have a harami over these 2 to 3 days, so it could be another indication of a top. Yes, we have a bearish reversal coming in, followed by another blue line with a lower closing price, but again, we're in a strong uptrend. This could be another good opportunity to buy on a dip. But actually it kept on coming down, so if we'd kept monitoring this, back here the predictor line was still showing pink there, but blue again. So this would be a phase where if we had a new investment, we're looking to buy in anew, we would say no, better to keep cautious. We've had a dead cross here below the medium-term line, and the medium-term line here has now changed to blue, so looks like the start of a decline. And even though we have a sharp pink rebound here temporarily, it's soon followed by more blue, so we've hit resistance at the medium term line, which is remaining blue. And let's see, tomorrow's predicted Masuda Ashi real body is also blue, and the window into the future also shows it going down even below the longer term line. But that's several days out. That's the 6th and 7th day out, so we should focus just on tomorrow mainly. This is just an indication of where the energy could go based on the historical trend so far, but depending on tomorrow's result, the whole picture could change again. And if we look at the medium term line here, the assistance reference line, it looks like the share price is already below the level 25 days ago, so probably the medium term line will also remain blue for some time. So we can say with some degree of confidence that we're in the early stages of a downward trend. Definitely not time to buy. If we had been in the stock long, although we've had several good buying on dip opportunities, it looks like this is a more entrenched decline. And even if we had not sold up to this point, where we have the dead cross would have been a very good time to get out, close the position, take profit. So even if you had bought here on this dip and you got out here, you'd still have made about this much in terms of profit. Not too bad. This would have been more potentially risky, because even if you'd sold here, you would have come out at about the same level, but even so, you would not have incurred a major loss. So these are the factors to keep in mind. Try and identify the near-term tops, near-term bottoms, identify the trend, get on early where you can, and also get out early when you can. At least in this way you should be able to avoid large losses, which is one of the key factors behind successful investing too. That is all for lesson 14. In the next lesson, lesson 15, we will begin to talk about the different patterns. There are 6 different patterns that we can describe based on the relative positioning of the short-term, medium-term and long-term Masuda Ashi real body lines. And each of these patterns has its own color and also alphabet letter, and we call it the 6-color pattern system, based on the relative positioning of each of the lines in the Masuda Ashi chart. And that also has a lot of significance in terms of another aspect of the Masuda Ashi chart system, which we'll discuss later, called the 6-color pattern spectrum, or the 6-color spectrum. So until then,